Konnichiwa, all Weebs alike. Welcome to Weebs Weekly. This week, we have a discussion that many people have probably talked about before. Have you heard that long anime are the only things that are good? Those long, shonen, drawn-out things that everybody talks about? Or is it those short ones that get over really fast, leave you a twist, leave you with thoughts in your head? Which is it that really is better? That's our discussion for the week. Long versus short anime.
Long versus short anime. This discussion has been going on for many years in the anime community. Some may say long anime is the longest and the best. Some may say short anime is the best because it's short and straight to the point. Today we will argue which one is better, and I will win.
Oh, sure you'll win, you little bitch. Alright, so which side are you arguing today?
Small, short anime.
Good thing long anime is better anyways. The reason why long anime is better is not only because there's more to watch, the characters change more. You get to be a part of the series as you grow with the characters. There's relationship building. There's new villains, new sorts of fights, new adaptations. Long anime just changes, and so it's not the same thing quickly. It's not so short that you're left wanting to know more, and there's just more to it. There's more changes, more adaptations, more everything. Short anime can't give you that longevity and that changing and growing with the character feeling that long anime gets with it. You become a part of the series when you can grow with the character. And I don't know any short anime that's ever come close to doing that for me. Sure, there's ones that make me want to feel like a part of the series, a part of the crew, but I don't change with them. I don't grow with them. Like the long anime such as Naruto, where you grow up with them, Dragon Ball, where they literally teach you life lessons, even through screaming and shouting and murder. So I want you to try to convince me otherwise, as I don't see any way that short anime can be better than these things that grew up. That no, let me rephrase that. That parented me, taught me how to live, and helped me grow up. That's what I was trying to say.
Short anime. First of all, we get straight to the point with life. Short anime is more relatable because you don't have no storyline of like some hero.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like slice of life. If you know what slice of life means, almost realistic to
Yeah.
like human in high school and stuff. So short anime, you can like connect with the characters more often because it's like they're not superpowers and stuff, and they give you a connection and they teach you life lessons. Not they teach some way teach you some important life lessons like Eli and April, but others might teach you don't trust everybody you see. Stranger danger.
Yeah.
Short anime might be also better because we have cliffhangers at the end of every season that makes artists really want to come back.
Bro,
But we
fuck
might leave it on that you don't. I'm sorry, but short anime got some pretty good cliffhangers that make you want to come back for the next season. Unlike some long anime that has cliffhangers every episode that makes you tight that you gotta wait for another week to watch this episode.
Valid. But the thing is, those cliffhangers just help you grow because you know that there's something else that's gonna happen. And with the long anime, they get beyond just leaving you hanging because you know that there's more to come. So you know that you want to watch more even before that there's a cliffhanger. Because you know that hero's journey, you stay along with it, and they can rejuvenate you with that new twist that's over time instead of making it instant and then just dying off after that season and making you wait for more instead of that weekly long running anime.
Cliffhangers also leaving the crazy suspense, make your weeks longer because you're waiting for this one episode. It can also make you hate the anime if it
True.
keeps going on repeatedly.
Yeah.
But what is the best feeling of watching an anime though? Is when you finish the anime and you know you have completed it 100%, and you cannot do much of that if you watch a long anime that takes off maybe a couple 100 hours to watch. Short anime, maybe like 5, 6 hours, and you'd be done with it. And you watch a whole different anime.
See, if you're watching anime for just the conclusion, then why not just watch the conclusion? I watch it for the trip, for the story, for what happens. I like to enjoy the journey. The fun is in the journey, not the destination. That's why long anime is better. They have those twists, turns, changes. They can forge a relationship with you as a viewer. And those short anime, like your 24 episode, your 12 episode anime, they get you drawn in and then you finish it in one night. There's no drawn out story. You don't age with it. It's just you get it, you it either answers your questions or leaves you on a cliffhanger and then you're done. And
Just
half the
like you
time
just said
they don't
though.
get renewed.
What you just said though is they don't have a good story, but with short anime, we have great stories. Stories that last you a lifetime. But we do not out drag our stories. Sometimes we cut our stories too short. But sometimes our story is just right and leaves us good inside, having good feelings, feeling bubbly.
Or they just leave you questioning, not knowing what else they're gonna do, waiting for 6 years for the next season to come out.
I know you're not subbing Attack on Titan.
I'm not subbing Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan's kind of a goat.
It took us 6 years to get the second season of that anime, but it was a good 6 years to wait for.
Yeah, but there's so many short anime that started off so good, and then they didn't answer the stories that they set up, and they didn't go into the characters that they set up to, and it just grinds my gears. With the long anime, they have the time to build more than just that main character, that main trio. You get the side characters. They get the Shikamarus, the Piccolos that are on the side. They're not the core character, but you can see the changes in them. They can become Gohan's second father in Piccolo's case. Shikamaru can be the right hand man to the Hokage. And that's all because they're not the main character, but they grow. They get those chances to change, just like everybody in a part of a long anime, and they can answer those other side questions that you, as a viewer, can get about those characters that may not be the main one, but are one of your favorites.
Speaking of that, though,
Hmm.
long anime versus short anime, you have a lot of filler repeating the same thing
Oh, that's a
over
dirty
and
word.
over again. How I don't want to watch what I see in the first season 20 more times than the whole anime. If I watch it twice, that's good enough. Maybe 3 times, but not more than 5. That is way too much repeating the same thing. But you would never see that in short anime. That they repeat the same.
Hmm.
Like My Hero would be one of the next biggest long anime. But how many times did they have to
The
refer
same
back to the
trope over
first
and over
episode?
again. Yeah.
Yes.
Filler does suck balls. Like, there's nothing worse in it. But there's so many shows out there that do filler well or don't have any at all. Just because the main ones like Dragon Ball, Naruto, My Hero right now, which is a repetitive but very good series. We're not dicking on it. Don't get bad yet. But there's like the shows out there like Hunter. You have your Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's in the middle of long and short. There's not much filler to that. Sure, it's repetitive, but every the villains are very repetitive, but the different challenges are new. The thing
All
is,
right.
filler doesn't have to be bad. Just often, the anime itself drives the tropes that keeps the viewership up, and that's why they're better. They keep the viewership up. Though they can repeat the same thing over and over again, they get the viewership. Any rebuttal, sir? Or you're just gonna take it like a dick and sit on it?
All right. After saying that, though, every short anime can match up to a long anime, plus more.
How can they match up? Are you
You
saying
look,
as in if they get the amount of time that a long anime had?
no, I could
Oh.
say one short anime matches up with one good long anime, like
Give me a name. Name.
Naruto.
Okay, Naruto.
Let's say Black Clover. Naruto and Black Clover. Almost the same thing, but one is short, one's long. Don't get me wrong, Naruto was a great anime.
True.
Top of the class. But the
More
art style.
class generation is kind of I would say more of a generation, kind of an era, almost an era. But back to Black Clover before I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Black Clover. I say one of the best art style anime, underrated right now, because it seems just like Naruto. If anybody gives it
it's
a
a
chance,
shonen. Every shonen's the same, pretty much.
if you give it a chance, you'll see the difference in Black Clover and Naruto. And where Black Clover succeeds and Naruto failed at. Not saying Naruto failed. Naruto is a great story.
But that's not because it's shorter. That's because it's newer. It's seen what those long animes that pushed out and kept the viewerships did well, and how they did well, and then they're using those, improving on them, and doing it. So your short animes that resolve in 24 episodes, or your slice of life that just hit off a point and then stop, they don't get to retain that viewership over time. They don't improve. They don't find fixes. They're not. They're just getting the viewership for those amount of time. They're not retaining it. They get their quick views and they're gone. See, they're not improving anime by themselves. They're taking what other animes did good and doing it themselves. They're tapping into your emotions like shows like Angel Beats. Sure, it's a really good anime, closest one to ever making me cry, but I didn't cry. I ain't a bitch. But they just mix that emotion and the fighting because they know that the emotions draw people in. They know that the fighting keeps people in. They're using other things that people did to bring them in. Those long animes are the ones that persevere those techniques, and that's why they just have to be the better ones.
I wouldn't say that though, because first long anime, they do not get rid of anybody in the main cast usually, and when they do, that is a really emotional state for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Naruto, Neji died in the Great Ninja War. Saddest moment in Naruto
Rip
ever.
Neji. Moment of silence. All right, go back.
Okay. And Itachi, nobody will ever forget Itachi. The low-key hero of the hidden leaf. And then you got Jiraiya.
Yo, Jiraiya's death. The feels.
I feel bad for Jiraiya. Pain did not need to do all that.
Yo, fuck.
Pain has violated Jiraiya more than one day. Literally.
Yeah.
But they did my son Arsenal Grimy as well. He was just getting his character development, and they had to kill him off. They killed him off just like that.
So you're saying that they're just playing with their emotions because they have the characters to do with it? instead of making the
Yes.
big impact like the short animes do. I can see
Yeah,
where
so
you're
it's
coming
not as
with that.
big.
The short anime deaths are more permanent than the longer ones, as your Dragon Ball
But then long
trope.
anime, usually, the biggest long animes, usually if there is death, death does not mean anything. So you can't really get that emotional about it.
You're going about Dragon Ball and yeah.
Dragon Ball, Naruto.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about One Piece so far. They had some.
No
They
comment.
had a scene where they had a scene where death. You can
Hmm.
bring back the people from the dead, but with one double fruit
Hmm.
power. But I don't remember the name of the double fruit and exactly what it does, so I'm not gonna say they bring back death. But
But
definitely,
that's you can't discredit them for appealing to their audience. That those long animes have to bring back those popular characters to re-bring in audiences. Once a short anime is done, they don't have to find new ways to bring them in. Plus, those long animes that do bring those people back in, many times it's not permanent, or there's a set storyline that makes it why it's significant that they got brought back. As in Goku sacrificing himself the 2 times that he did get brought back. Neither time did he die or get defeated. He was sacrificed. No comment on Krillin. Krillin's a bitch.
Kalen used to be a real goat.
Yeah, back in Dragon Ball, and then it become fodder. But
Even though,
mhm,
speak of that, let's talk about which anime. Like, we got Your Line April,
mhm,
Kanad,
yeah,
Angel Beats,
come on,
uh, you like Kanad After Story,
mhm,
Conan,
yeah.
My Little Monster. These are all sad romance animes with action in it,
So your
which have
balanced
the
anime.
it's like the perfect balanced anime, but then it's short. It gets the audience attention for the whole ride of the whole show. Long anime, they have that little spot era where people are losing focus and they don't really care about it because it's so boring. It happens to the best of the long animes. It's just what happens to long animes.
Yeah, the longer ones do lose viewership. That's when they have to bring in the new things to pop it up. That's when they innovate. You got your shows like Hunter x Hunter, which are literally long animes almost perfected. They have their ways of retaining viewership, changing out, having a core of main characters so they can switch out who goes through that internal struggle that makes a hero's journey important. They have okay, they don't really have romance. Gon's like 12. If they had romance, that'd be pretty much weird. Except
Alright, but
except for
anyway,
Palm. Palm's a pedophile. She's
that,
something.
other than that, long anime ends up listening to the fans and bringing in fan service. One of the biggest animes that was long that did that, Fairy Tail.
Oh, Fairy Tale is fan
Lucy
service
and
and
Ursa from Fairy Tail has been through every battle, and clothes is not falling off for the first few seasons. Then, around the ending of the whole anime,
clothes just
their
barely
clothes started
exist.
dipping and only showing everything but the sensitive spots that
Hmm.
you shouldn't show in the anime. That's cliche.
But that's the type of show that is. Fairy Tale is a trope based show. They follow shonen tropes and they do fan service. And that's as much as people hate on Fairy Tale, that's what makes it good. Because they can take those tropes and still make it enjoyable by using those tropes, but also addressing them and making them the focus on the show, but not what makes it good. What makes it good is the characters, the interactions between them, and how it makes it feel like a family thing. You don't get much of that family feeling inside of a short anime unless it's through killing off a character or characters in the end walking off into the sunset together. You don't build that bond in a short anime.
You're not wrong about that.
Yeah. Long anime just brings people together more, and it's almost a generational thing. You stay as a generation with it, you grow with it, you become like a family with that anime. You're a part of the group. And I just don't see anything of that in short anime. And so, unless certainly there are really good short anime that can pop, but I just think long anime is better for all those reasons.
Long anime does have its perks. The short does too. Short, I feel like long anime makes short anime so good. You have to have the long and the short. They
I
cannot live without each other.
I can agree to that fact because the things that make long anime good make short anime bad, but the thing that makes short anime good makes the long anime worse. Because you have your one-off quick shows that you watch in that one night that you brag to your friends about. Those 12 episodes that you did in those 3 hours, and you'll never be able to forget them because of the impact. Or those 1,000 episodes of One Piece that you rewatched 4 times this year, and you can brag to all your friends that you know it by heart. Both of those give off different sensations, and I don't think there's a way to tell you which one you can do. I think it's a preference thing. I prefer long, you may prefer short, but I guess it's all a matter of opinion. So,
Nobody wins.
nobody wins.
Tie game. Alright.
Fucking ties. This is like Logan Paul and KSI. What a fucking fail.
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that? Best anime fight of all time. Top 10 anime fights.
I think we're gonna have to talk about that then.
Top 10 anime fights?
Top 10 anime fights.
Alright, are we gonna have to meme it?
Meme. Title for
Alrighty.
next video. Top 10 anime fights.
Alright. So, I guess we can't come to a decision, so it'll end in a draw. It was a fun
Draw.
talk, but I guess we can attach a poll to see what other people think, or you guys can just comment down below our opinions. Your opinions, not ours. I know ours. We just talked about
I
ours.
want to know yours.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Alrighty. Have a nice night. This is Weebs Weekly, cutting the show.